Okay. Hey, Josh, I'm gonna stop you for a second because your signal and your phone is, the signal's really bad. You're breaking up bad. So let's go back to the radar, please. And Trey, go ahead and zoom out a little bit. So we have a rotation north of Tuttle, just a couple miles to the west and southwest of Mustang that could produce a tornado at any time. So that circulation will come right across Mustang in less than 10 minutes. And it's making a beeline for the west or southwest sides of Oklahoma City. So you have tornado sirens going off in Yukon, the Village, Oklahoma City. We can hear the sirens outside the Fox 25 studios right now, Flynn and more. But right now that rotation looks like it's going to head right through Mustang, possibly the central and south sides of Oklahoma City. Now, as we know, these tornadoes do not take a direct path, so it is possible this circulation could wind up somewhere near the Village, pass through Yukon, Nichols Hills, or maybe down here towards Flynn and more. So there's no reason this couldn't jog or shift a little bit to the south. Let's go ahead and check Mike's stream, please, and see what he's got. And Mike's in a little bit of traffic. So let's go back to the radar, please. And Trey, zoom out a little bit. We have other severe thunderstorm warnings, not tornado warnings, but pretty big thunderstorms down here near Comanche County, Gracemont, Anadarko, Koger, heading back towards Grady County, north of Chickasha. We have thunderstorms capable of producing up to golf ball-sized hail. Tornado warning once again moving into Mustang. Trey, let's go ahead and talk about the other tornado warned storm that we have in Payne County, please. And Stillwater, again, you're in the path of the circulation that looks like it's getting stronger. So right now, just to the southwest, 1, 2, 3, 4 miles to the southwest of Stillwater, we have a circulation right here. That's also capable of producing a tornado at any time. So if you live in Stillwater, please take your tornado precautions. Just south of Lake McMurray, this area right here, even though Lake McMurray not technically in the tornado polygon, but you're close enough, you should still be taking your tornado precautions and getting to your safe spot. Rotation will catch the north sides of Perkins, and hopefully whatever's going on here will stay in the cloud or off the ground. But that's a pretty significant rotation. Trey, let's take a closer look at that circulation, get deep. And before you track it, let's go ahead and see what shear rate is saying, see if it's getting stronger or weaker. And it looked like that last scan, maybe that updraft or the circulation weakened just a little bit. North of Goodnight, what's the velocity saying? Storm relative, base velocity, okay. So we're getting a rotation, of course, and looks like it really starts, it looks like the radar products are a little bit offset. So somewhere, looks like on the south sides of Stillwater, between Stillwater and Goodnight, really right here is where we have either a brand new rotation or the strongest rotation, because it started here. You can always tell where the circulation started at the edge of this polygon, but now this has shifted south. So either we have a brand new rotation and this one is weakened, but I'm going to go ahead and warn this whole area from the west sides of Stillwater down towards Goodnight, okay? Anywhere from here, east and northeast, needs to be taking their tornado precaution. That includes Stillwater, that includes Ingalls, and also West Point. So Trey, let's go ahead and track that. So we're going to have to put, instead of putting that that cell on there, let's go ahead and put the line. So draw a line from just west of Stillwater down towards Goodnight and bring it east and northeast. So we have that whole area covered. Even though the rotation's right about here, we're getting some mixed signals. So we might have two rotations actually. But I want to draw the whole thing because even if you're in this area here and north of the circulation, that is huge hail. Okay, that's at least golf ball, maybe tennis ball sized hail. So the OSU campus, less than 10 minutes, that's when that circulation is going to be there. Eskimo Joe's, also about 7 or 8 minutes. Stillwater, downtown Stillwater, about 9 minutes, and Boomer Lake in about 11 minutes. And just letting you know from the National Weather Service, there are a lot of trackers out there this afternoon. And as of right now, there is no confirmation of a tornado between Tuttle and Mustang. So let's track that. I'm sorry, we just tracked that, Trey. Let's go back down to Canadian County and get to that tornado warning too.
And Jeff, why don't we take a look at Mike Williams' stream? He just messaged in.
Okay.
Mike, you got us?
Hey, Mike, just a second.
Hello, I'm here.
Yeah, now we got you. Go ahead and talk.
If you're in Mustang, let's treat this like a tornado, a rain-wrapped tornado possibly. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of water moving, a lot of rain, a lot of everything going on. I'm just a little bit south of Mustang, north of Tuttle in between both, and that thing just came across real quickly. I'm going to stay back a little bit here because there's a bunch of rain coming down. Just treat it as if there's a tornado on the ground, and hopefully there's not. We can talk about it later on and say it didn't happen. But this is a major, major storm, very, very, very potentially violent storm.
Yes, thank you, Mike, and that's a great tip because latest word from the National Weather Service is that there is a very strong rotation. It's getting stronger, it's tightening up, and it's increasing in intensity. So let's go back to the radar, please. And really, with most tornado warnings, you have to act as if something may be on the ground, and especially in this case here, because this circulation is getting rain wrapped. So even though Mike is here, he can't even see into the base of it. So he's getting rain here. You'd almost have to be in this location here, and you have a very small window to see something on the ground. So there's a good chance, there's a good possibility we have a tornado on the ground on the central and west sides of Mustang. What's velocity saying? Okay, yes, so that is a very tight rotation that we have here. It's getting deeper, and it is getting stronger. So again, Mike is going to be working his way east if he can to try to see what's going on here with the updraft. Maybe he can catch the rain-free base, but that's going to be really hard to do in this situation. So again, Mustang, please make sure you are taking your tornado precautions. Stay sheltered until further notice. Trey, let's go ahead and back the radar to the west a little bit, and then I want to be able to see the roads that were, yeah, go ahead and get zero down or center up on Mustang, please. Let's go ahead and do, yes, exactly, right there. So the circulation right now, that could be producing a tornado with the data that we have and the reports that we're getting from Mike and other trackers out there, a possible tornado on the ground in Mustang near South Sarah Road, Cemetery Road, Southwest 104th Street, and State Highway 152. So somewhere between State Highway 152, right through the center of Mustang, near South Sarah, near South Cemetery, possible tornado on the ground right here. So again, Mustang, please be in your shelter and stay there. And the circulation is heading very quickly to the east and to the northeast. So Trey, let's go ahead and zoom out and put a track on that. And we know who's downstream. That's Oklahoma City on the west sides of town. But of course, we also have the southeast sides of Yukon, Bethany right along and north of I-40, the OKC outlet shops. And this rotation is heading towards, it's in Mustang now. It's going to be near the outlet shops in about 13 minutes or less. That Hurricane Harbor area and Mayfield Middle School in about 16 minutes. Moore West Junior High in less than 20. Same thing, less than 20 for State Fair Park and around Will Rogers Airport, Wheeler Park, Scissortail, and the Plaza District. You have less than 22 minutes to seek shelter and hit your safe spot. So again, tornado warned storm on the west sides of town, on the west sides and southwest sides of Oklahoma City, passing through Mustang. Okay, so you got Josh, he's in the hail core right now. Mike, his stream is going to be impeded, but let's go ahead and take a look at Mike's stream real quick. And you can see Mike is just in a mess of rain. He's trying to reposition to possibly get to the rain-free base and see if we can see maybe something on the ground, but hopefully not. So we have the other possible tornadic circulation near Stillwater. So Trey, go back to the radar, please. And again, before we leave that area, Mustang, please stay in your shelter. And I'm hearing the tornado sirens go off again outside, so it's possible that the Weather Service just issued another tornado warning because the sirens don't go off for any reason, for no reason, I should say. And so I believe that we have a brand new tornado warning, and I'll let you know what's going on. And okay, this is the new tornado warning because now it extends all the way through Oklahoma City. Okay, so we got possible tornado on the ground near Mustang, heading to the west and southwest sides of Oklahoma City. Trey, I take it back. Before we go to the Stillwater and Payne County storm, let's get down real close again, get me to street level. I want to make sure everyone knows as close as we can to the exact location of this circulation and possible tornado. So that would be near Southwest 89th Street, and this is right dead center Mustang, right in the middle of Mustang. rotation, possible tornado on the ground near South Mustang Road, South Sarah Road, State Highway 152. We got Josh right here, and he's trying to reposition up this way. Mike's trying to get around here and possibly look into this updraft core. Okay, but again, possible tornado on the ground, Mustang coming towards Wheatland, and after that is coming towards Will Rogers Airport, Lillard Park. The OKC outlet shops are in this area too, Newcastle Road. Please, you folks in this area right here, make sure you are taking your tornado precautions. Get to the lowest level of your home and put as many walls between you and the outside as you can. So get in, get down, and cover up. If you can get underground, that's the safest place to be, of course, or in some engineered safe room. Those are the two safest places. If you can't get there, again, get to an interior closet, an interior hallway, a bathroom, and make sure you get yourself covered up, okay? Because you do not have to be underground to survive. Chances are better, but if you can get to that spot, the lowest level of your home, the most interior portion that we just talked about, that's a very safe place to be in this situation.
Jeff, can we toss it back to field meteorologist Mike Williams? I see he's getting a little bit closer kind of to that wedge there where he might be able to see into it. Mike, you got us?
Okay. If you have my GPS up and look at my position compared to the rotation, I did see a lowering there just a second ago. There was kind of a funnel. It wasn't quite on the ground, but so I am on where am I at? Mustang Road, I guess, just a little south of 152. And so if there's going to be anything on the ground, it's probably going to be right about here. I don't see it quite yet. Hopefully I don't see it ever. But this is where we're at right now.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. We had you on Mustang Road, so let's go ahead and go back. Looks like there's vehicles driving into where you just said that possible tornado is at. So actually, Mike, we got you on South Sarah Road, and Josh is near State Highway 152. So possible tornado on the ground, center and east sides of Mustang. We have that other tornado warned storm also. So Trey, let's go up there real quick. Want to make sure Stillwater knows what's going on. The tornado warning is continuing, and looks like that circulation is wrapping up and getting stronger too. So circulation also possibly producing a tornado about 4 miles on the south side of the center of Stillwater, moving very quickly northeast. I believe we have James McMullen on the phone. And if we can get James a stream up, please let me know. I want to talk to James and see if he's got, a really good handle on what's going on. James?
Yeah, Jeff, I am on Highway 33 coming into Perkins, paralleling the storm, trying to stay out of this rain as much as possible. If there's anything on the ground, it's going to be completely rain-wrapped.
Okay, James, have you seen anything that would indicate maybe something was down, like any kind of damage or anything?
No damage that I've seen so far.
Okay, that's good news so far. Thank you, James, and then shout if you see something, but we will be getting back to you here in just a few minutes. So thank you, James. Trey, let's go ahead and track this circulation right here. Let's make sure we got a good handle on the exact location. Let's see what velocity is saying and our shear rate. So there you go. We have a pretty tight rotation right here along Highway 177 in between Perkins and Stillwater. So in the Stillwater area, a lot of heavy rain going on and some big hail, but here just around the Perkins area, north of Perkins, right along or near Highway 177. This is where we have the rotation that could be producing a tornado. Trey, track that for me, please, then we'll get back down to Mustang. So again, circulation right in between Perkins, Stillwater, Highway 177, somewhere here. The track is moving away from Stillwater, but it's still on the south sides of Stillwater, and that circulation will be in Couch Park in just a few minutes. So again, Stillwater, if you're in your shelter, please stay there. If you're not there yet on the east sides of Stillwater, please get there, because the storm, I should say the circulation is moving northeast, but these tornadoes do not take a direct track. So if it wobbles around a little bit and heads north, it could easily catch the east sides of Stillwater, or possibly even move into Ripley. Even though Ripley and Annabelle and Drake's Corner, you're out of that tornado polygon, but this whole area right here, until further notice, until that storm clears the county, please stay sheltered. All right, Trey, go back down to Mustang, please.
Yeah, Jeff, it looks like that storm just to the southwest of the metro area could be recycling just there to the southwest of really Will Rogers. So definitely be taking your tornado precautions if you do live in and around the Will Rogers area. and really just to the east now of Mustang as that storm continues to move to the east-northeast.
Josh seems to be right where the tornado could be. Again, if there is one on the ground, we have indications that the storm possibly has a history of producing a tornado. I don't believe we have any confirmations yet, right, Ross?
No, I have not seen any confirmations.
Okay, but we have had strong evidence that there may have been one on the ground or there may be one on the ground. So with the circulation as strong as it is, with the reports and data that we have, please let's act as if there is something on the ground, because there easily could be. And if there is, it's mostly rain wrapped. Let's go to Josh's stream, please, and see what we got. Okay. Josh is seeing the base of that storm. So let's talk to Josh and see what, if he can tell us what's happening. Josh?
I'm on the east side of Mustang now. I'm not sure what road this is. But if I stayed on 152, it's just going to keep me to where I couldn't see anything. So I took a road that was off so I could see to the south. I'm going to try to position and look back into the storm in just a second. I'm on Southwest 74th and Council is my current location, if that helps.
Okay, that helps a lot, Josh. Anything concerning in the past few minutes?
When I was on the east side of Mustang, the winds were coming from the south, and then all of a sudden they came from the north really hard, and I couldn't see anything for about 45 seconds. But other than that, that was all I had.
Okay, thank you, Josh. Let's go back to the radar, and we
Jeff,
do have
did you just see that the observer at the tower at Will Rogers just reported a tornado at 7:15. So the National Weather Service currently working on trying to confirm that, but there is at least one report there from Will Rogers Airport.
Yeah, he didn't give the exact location, I don't think, right?
No.
But at 7:15, about 10 minutes ago, an air traffic controller here at the tower at Will Rogers did spot a tornado on the ground before it started getting more rain wrapped. So Josh is here right now. He's getting a look at the base, but possibly not into the actual updraft, because there's a lot of rain going on here. Mike is farther back into the heavy rain and some small hail. So Mustang heading west, you have no more tornado threat. East sides of Mustang heading to the west and southwest sides of Oklahoma City, to include Will Rogers Airport. Of course, we have the State Fair Park around here too. Tornado warning in effect. Please be taking your tornado precautions right now. If you're in your safe spot, stay there until further notice. Now, if you cannot get underground, it's okay, as long as you can get to the lowest level of your home and put as many walls between you and the outside as you can. So like we always say, get in, get down, and cover up. And let's go ahead and see when this storm or that circulation that has a history of likely producing a tornado, or no, it's official. A tornado was produced by that supercell about 12 minutes ago. Okay, so that circulation right now is going to be at the airport in about 6 or 7 minutes. It's going to be in that area where we have Hurricane Harbor in about 12 minutes. See Stockyard City in about 14 or 15 minutes. Same thing for State Fair Park and Wheeler Park and Scissortail, less than 10 minutes. Less than 20 minutes. The Plaza District, Paycom Center, and Bricktown all have less than 20 minutes to take your tornado precautions. So get in, get down, and cover up. So Midtown, Paseo District, State Capitol, this is all coming right into the west and central sides of the Oklahoma City metro area. This is the second tornado warning that has been issued. Sirens have gone off 2 separate occasions, and this tornado warning may get extended again. So Josh is repositioning, so is Mike, but we have a possible tornado on the ground on the east sides of Mustang, right in between East Mustang and the west and southwest sides of Oklahoma City. Thanks for that, Trey. What's the other velocity saying on that? It's still showing a pretty significant rotation right here. It looks like it's broadened a little bit, just a little bit, but not enough to not have a concern or to not have an immediate tornado threat. And that's what we're looking at right here. So the circulation is just a mile or so away from the airport, from Will Rogers Airport, that is. And it looks like that circulation is going to come right across or near Moore West Junior High School too. So please leave that up there, Trey, and then maybe zoom down just a little bit closer for me.
I say, really, that's just about to cross over.
That's good.
I-44 there, just to the west of Moore West Junior High School.
Yeah, it's going to cross that 44 and 240 split right here. And of course, this is where we have the Will Rogers Airport, a very heavily populated area. And if the storm does not produce a tornado again, it's still capable of producing 60 to 80 mile an hour winds and some very huge hail. But Will Rogers Airport, if you live in the vicinity of the airport, tornado warning storm until 7:45. That warning will likely get extended in time and in location as you go east and to the northeast. So possible rotation, possible tornado. It is a rotation, sorry. Possible tornado on the ground near Southwest 104th, near Southwest 119th. And let's see. Hey, Trey, bump that radar down a little bit. And looks like the circulation will stay either near or south of Newcastle Road. But the rotation is just about to cross, if it hasn't yet, the I-44 and 240 split. So Josh is on the flip side of the rotation right now. Let's see what the shear rate is saying, Trey. We want to keep that maybe going back and forth because that'll tell us the trend of this storm, if it's weakening or getting stronger. But you see that big red blob right there, and that's telling us a very, very strong rotation. And it has had a history of producing strong to extreme rotations. And that was more than likely happening when the tornado was on the ground about 15 minutes ago.
And again, this is a very heavily populated area. I mean, there's tons of shops there on I-240, a very residential, really populated neighborhood and area there as well. So, I mean, Jeff, you've stressed it multiple times, but really can't stress it enough. Take your tornado precautions. Go inside either to the lowest part of your home or to the most interior part of your house. Those inner hallways, those inner closets and bathrooms as well. Cover yourself up because this is a very large storm and it has had a history of producing tornadoes. Again, we had that observer there at Will Rogers confirming that just a few moments ago.
Yeah, thanks, Ross. So, Trey, let's go ahead and put a track on that one more time. Pull up the velocity and track that east-northeast at about 30 to 35 miles an hour. And we have field meteorologist Mike Williams. His stream is up there on your right. And the rotation that has a history of producing a tornado. And that touchdown was confirmed about 15, 16 minutes ago. So we're looking at Wheeler Park and Scissortail Park, Paycom Center, Bricktown. Downtown Oklahoma City, we have right around 10 minutes or less to take your tornado precautions. So if you're seeking shelter right now, please just stay there until further notice. If you can get underground, that's where you want to be if you live in any of these areas. Hey, Trey, shift that track a little bit to the right. I don't know if you can see, but this box they have me in right now, that's getting cut off there. So just shift that track a little bit to the box. Yeah. So State Capitol and Del City, get about 14, 15 minutes. And about 15 minutes or more, you can get to your safe spot quickly, but calmly. Okay, so gather everybody up, the pets, get them into the shelter. If it's underground, that's great. If it's not, that's okay too, as long as you can get to the lowest level of your home and put as many walls between you and the outside. And as we always say, interior bathroom, interior closet, interior hallway. Just get away from the windows. Any location in the middle that doesn't have windows, that's going to be a safe way to be, safe place to be on the lowest level. So Tinker Air Force Base, 17, 18 minutes. Midwest City, between 18 and 20 minutes. That goes the same for you folks that live anywhere near Remington Park, the Oklahoma City Zoo, and Midwest City High School. Every location on here, well, let's say from Oklahoma City down has 10 to 20 minutes to take your tornado precautions, and anywhere from Wheeler Park, Scissortail Park has 10 minutes or less.
Trey, could we go to the correlation coefficient, see if there's any kind of debris on the ground? This is a product we use to show if there's any sort of debris ball from that possible tornado there on the ground. Not really a whole lot showing up there, so that's good news.
Yeah, that's mostly good news. I don't see anything here that would be significant because what this product does, it compares light particles in the atmosphere. If anything shows up that's different, like debris that's lofted into the air or that's aloft, it'll show them as these colors here, but it'd be more like in a compact ball or in a small area. So I don't see that right now. It doesn't mean that there's not a tornado on the ground. It just means that we're not seeing any significant signs of debris or anything being picked up and spun around. We got Mike and Josh. So, Trey, thank you very much for going back to reflectivity. This is your inflow right here, and that mesocyclone is really getting wrapped still. So it doesn't look any stronger or any weaker, I'd say, in the past 20, 25 minutes when this first was issued. So Now, it has had at points in the past maybe 20, 25 minutes, it has gotten stronger, it has pulsed a little bit. So that means the rotation will get stronger and weaker between radar scans, but generally it's still very significant. And that rotation, if it's not right now, could drop a tornado at any moment. We know how it works. You see just that, you see the flat base that goes to a lowering, that goes into a funnel, that will touch down. That can all happen in a minute or less. It usually takes longer, but that's possible. Okay, Josh is right there. Let's go ahead and take a look at Josh's stream, please. And just to let you know, Mustang no longer under an immediate tornado threat. And let's go ahead and talk to Josh, please. So, Josh, we got your stream. Looks like you have a really good shot of that storm. What are you getting?
Tornado, but I'm on the east side of the airport now. I'm fixing to get on 44 and go over to 240 so I can kind of get a little south of this so I can get better back.
Okay, thanks, Josh. Great idea. Back to the radar, please. Okay,
and just a reminder, this is not the only tornado warning that we have here. Also, what is that, Payne County and the downtown Stillwater area, OSU campus, also still included in that tornado warning where we did have some broad rotation as well. Just as a quick reminder that we do have multiple storms that we're tracking here right now.
Yeah, this supercell is moving really, really slow. So it's taking a sweet old time coming through Payne County. Hey, Trey, can you put the cursor on there and just highlight this area here and see how long that tornado warning is issued until? So we got about 10 minutes
left.
Okay. Yeah, and I believe that was issued right around it. Both of these tornado warnings were issued right around 7 o'clock, a little bit after. I believe I'd say the strongest circulation right now is near Ingalls. Can you give me some velocity there, Trey? Yeah, let's pull up the other product. Let's see. Okay, so the rotation has brought in quite a bit. But, okay, the circulation could still produce a tornado at any time near Ripley, near Ingalls. But I would say most of Stillwater, especially the central and west sides of town, you folks are no longer under a tornado threat. East sides of Stillwater, the rotation is heading to your east and southeast. So right now, Ripley, north of Drake's Corner, I would say Ingalls down here towards Yale, and say Cartico, you folks still please take your tornado precautions. If you can get underground, that's a great place to be. That's the best place to be. If you can't, lowest level of your home and get away from the windows. Storm is also capable of producing some pretty big hail. So again, Stillwater, no more tornado threat for you. That would be Ingalls and about 2 or 3 miles south of Ingalls where you see this good inflow here heading eastward towards Yale and Cartico and Quay. So you folks, make sure you are sheltered and stay there until further notice. That tornado warning will expire. Well, it could expire at 7:45, but of course, it may get extended. And if it does, we'll let you know. So back towards Oklahoma City, please, Trey. And then let's shoot back a little bit to the southwest before we hit that. Okay, I just want to make sure there were no more tornado warnings issued here in the last few minutes. Now, a few of these thunderstorms, these severe warned storms, they are rotating right now, but they're not rotating enough to have an immediate tornado threat. So there are some circulations here, but those circulations are producing some really big hail coming into Apache and Elgin and Amber and Chickasha, strong to severe thunderstorms. Okay, Trey, let's go back to that tornado warned storm. And you can see now, like we were talking about, Mustang, Tuttle, no more tornado threat, not from this storm, but on the west and southwest sides of Oklahoma City and south and west of this tornado warning, we have other supercells that could come right back into this area and possibly do the same thing. Give us a tornado threat, but hopefully nothing worse than that.
And that warning just got extended a little bit further eastward there.
Oh,
now,
sure
now
did.
including the Choctaw area, Hara, Jones as well, Midwest City, Tinker Air Force Base. So really extended quite a bit further eastward there.
Yeah.
And that storm is pretty much riding right along I-240 in between, I-44 and I-35. So again, if you live in that area, definitely be taking your tornado precautions right now. If you live in the Northmore area, Flynn, Valley Brook area up towards Stockyard City, this storm is headed your way right now.
Yeah, this is one of the most heavily populated areas in the whole state, actually. So Mike and Josh are on the circulation. They're almost in the circulation, but right here, right on the, the airport is a huge property, by the way. So in the center and north sides of the airport, okay, this is where we have the circulation that could be producing a tornado. It's already produced a tornado at least once, and that was about 20-something minutes ago. And so the circulation right now will move across the south sides of Oklahoma City. And then, Trey, what's the other velocity showing? Okay, let's go to shear rate. And then for the third time here in about an hour, the tornado sirens are also going off right outside the Fox 25 studios. Okay, so we're seeing that strong circulation come right across the airport. But really, Trey, go back to reflectivity, please, right where you have Mike and Josh. Okay, if this is producing a tornado, it's right about here. Now, we have some other circulations along the edge of these storms also, but there's no immediate tornado threat right here. It's right here, and it looks like the circulation is starting to get closed off again. And when you see it getting wrapped, when you see it getting kind of closed off and it wrapping around significantly like that, and this area here gets smaller and smaller, that means that rotation is really tightening up, and that's exactly what we do not want to see. We want this to open up, but it's not doing that. So this storm is still very capable of producing a tornado if it's not right now. So here's Oklahoma City, and their circulation almost for sure until it crosses I-35 will stay south of I-40. So this is not a threat for, like, let's say, Belle Isle, Edmond, Bethany, nothing like that, or even Guthrie, of course. But Trey, let's go ahead and get real close. Let's get to street level and really nail down and draw down on that rotation there. Let's see. So if that's producing a tornado, it's near or in the vicinity of Southwest 44th Street, Southwest 59th Street, Grand Boulevard, and here's Southwestern Avenue. There's 74th Street. That's where Mike is at right there, and Josh is near Santa Fe Avenue. So Josh is trying to reposition here. Maybe he's trying to get to I-35 and catch that rotation as it comes through. So a very strong mesocyclone. It's been about almost 40 minutes now. This thing has been intact, and it has produced a tornado, and it could be doing it again. There's South May, Western, in between Southwest 44th, Southwest 59th. This is on the south sides of Oklahoma City. There's 44 in the Turnpike, possible tornado on the ground. So if you live in this area right here, South Oklahoma City, into Flynn, make sure you're taking your tornado precautions right now. Trey, go ahead and zoom out and let's see who's downstream. I mean, we know, but we want to make sure we warn everyone. And instead of doing that cell, just draw a line, from the beginning to the north and south sides of that rotation and take it right across the south and southeast sides of Oklahoma City. Make it go at about, right about there. That looks good. So the circulation that has produced a tornado will be in Dell City, Midwest City High School, and Tinker Air Force Base. You get about 10 or 11 minutes or less to take your tornado precautions. And we want to get you to your safe spot. That, of course, would be underground. If you can get there, great. If you can't, it's okay as long as you can get to that lowest level of your home. Put as many walls between you and the outside. If it's in the middle, lowest part of your house, and it doesn't have a window, you're likely okay. Okay, and of course, the bathroom's always great. Get in the tub, grab some mattresses and pillows and whatever you can. If you go into a closet, start pulling down coats and stuff like that. You want to protect yourself as much as you can from that flying debris, if it is happening. So Josh is just south of Flynn. Tornado warning for this circulation right here, and there's I-35. So the rotation and the supercell is getting ready to cross I-35 near Southeastern Avenue, near Santa Fe Avenue, and the rotation right now right along or just to the east of Southwestern Avenue 2. Coming right for Tinker Air Force Base, coming right for Midwest City and Dell City. Again, the circulation that has produced a tornado coming to this area in about 5 to 10 minutes. So if you're Midwest City, if you're on the east side of Midwest City and Tinker Air Force Base in St. Anthony's, you can quickly and calmly get to where you need to be. Gather everybody up. If it's the bathroom, go there. If it's the hallway, if it's underground, you got it right around 10 minutes or less to make sure you take your tornado precautions. If you're sheltered from South Oklahoma City, Stockyard City, into Dell City, in this area right here, stay sheltered, please, until further notice, because the storm is still dangerous if it does not produce a tornado. It's still capable of producing some very big hail, some very strong winds,
And can we pull up Mike's
Yeah.
stream? I mean, he's right in the middle of that. We saw he was seeing a ton of rain, can barely see out the windshield there. But Mike, we got your stream up right now. Are you seeing any hail within the part of the storm that you're at right now, or what are the winds looking like?
I've seen zero hail, but I think I'm seeing power flashes on the south side of Oklahoma City continuously.
Ah, darn it. Way too much traffic
looks like
out
it's
there.
right around, like, maybe 44th Street or something like that. It's just, I have a bad feeling about this. It's just not good. I hope I'm wrong, but I just think that's what I've been seeing. I'm parallel to it right now on 240, and it's just raining so hard. It'd be rain wrapped. You wouldn't even know it was coming. If it's an actual tornado on the ground, and we have to treat it as if it is.
Yeah, exactly, Mike, and that's really bad news. And thanks for that. Be careful, and we'll be back with you here real shortly. Let's go ahead and take Josh's stream also, because Josh is right around that circulation. Hey, Josh, we haven't talked to you in a few minutes. Can you tell us what you've seen between now and a few minutes ago?
Back over my shoulder, it would be north of I-240. It's got a pretty interesting looking area. I'm trying to get up here to this next north-south road so I can get a better vantage point. Everywhere I tried, something was blocking my view. But I should have you a better view for about 1 minute.
Okay. Thanks, Josh. Then we'll get back to you.
And I think another thing to point out, Mike mentioned how that possible tornado is completely rain-wrapped. You wouldn't even, notice it coming if it did. We're also only about, 20 minutes away or so from sunset here. Sunset, I think, is at 8:10. So, 20, 25 minutes, sunset's going to arrive. So that's going to even make it more dangerous, not only with the rain, but, it's going to be nighttime, so even harder to see what might be coming your way out there.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot, Ross. Great points. And so South Oklahoma City, between South Oklahoma City, here's I-35. That's where the circulation is coming across right now between here and Midwest City, Tinker Air Force Base, and Dell City. This is where the circulation is at here, and this is where it's coming. So you folks, please make sure you are sheltered and stay there. If you haven't taken your tornado precautions yet, Midwest City, Dell City, Tinker Air Force Base, do it now, please. Trey, zoom out just a little bit more, please. So obviously on the southwest sides of Oklahoma City, even though Lillard Park, you're still in the tornado polygon, and West Oklahoma City, no tornado threat for you, no tornado threat. Bethany, the Village, and Edmond, no immediate tornado threat. But if we keep on zooming out, and Trey, getting the bigger picture here, we still have storms that are, now they're starting to shift a little bit. These two were coming right for Oklahoma City up the turnpike. Now they're shifting more eastward, and that's not really good news. That means they're getting stronger, and those rotations are getting tighter, but they're moving more south of Oklahoma City when it looked like we were going to get hammered like 3 or 4 more times. And we still could, but it's looking less likely now. They extended that tornado warning for Payne County. Let's get back up there, Trey. Then we'll get right back down to Oklahoma City. So this tornado warning has been extended, and where the polygon starts, especially in the southwest corner, this is where we expect the strongest rotation to be. And there is a rotation there, but please don't forget, this area, Stillwater and Payne County, is pretty far away from the Twin Lakes radar. So we're looking at about 50, 60 miles away, so we're overshooting the lower levels of the storm. That's why you're not really seeing the tight rotation that the Weather Service is seeing. They're coordinating with the Tulsa Weather Service. But anyway, let's see that velocity one more time, please, Trey. So it looks like south of Ingalls. Let's see. Give me another product, please, because I can't really see. Okay, Ingalls, that's good, thank you. Ingalls, east and northeast into Quay, Yale, Cartico, Merrimack, Jennings, Hallett, circulation capable of producing a tornado coming right at you. Trey, before we get back down to the metro, you might want to zoom out a little bit more. Let's put a track on that, please. Again, northeast at about 30 to 35. So Ingalls, make sure you're taking your tornado precautions. Hit that safe spot and stay there.
And again, that warning, I think, will be in effect for about another 40, 45 minutes here.
Okay, and that's coming towards Yale and Oilton in about 9 to 18 minutes, and Jennings, you have less than 24 minutes. Okay, let's go back to the Oklahoma City metro area. We have field meteorologist Mike Williams, and we have Josh Lasseter. They've been tracking this tornado-warned storm for about 45 minutes. And here we go right there. You can see this is still getting good inflow. and that inflow is starting to close off again, which is indicating that circulation is getting tighter and more intense. It's exactly what we do not want to see. Mike and Josh are repositioning here, and they're going to wind up more than likely on the east sides of Tinker and Midwest City. And so, Josh, let's go ahead and get a little bit closer, please. Not Josh, I'm sorry, Trey. Are the tornado sirens going off again?
Yeah, fourth
Okay.
time, I believe.
Okay. So if this is producing a tornado, it's right here. So that would be southeast 15th Street, southeast 29th Street, southeast 44th Street, and southeastern Avenue. Okay, possible tornado on the ground. So downtown Oklahoma City is here north. There's Scissortail. And so just southeast of Scissortail by just a mile or two, we have a circulation possibly producing a tornado. It's getting closed off, which does indicate that this circulation and mesocyclone is strengthening. And let's go ahead and take a look at another product. It just hit me, Trey. Let's go ahead and look at that correlation coefficient again. And this will tell us if there's any debris maybe being lofted into the air or debris aloft. And I would think that if there was anything significant on the ground or being torn up, or if any debris was flying around, it'd be pretty clearly indicated right here. And there's really not. So not saying there's not a possible tornado on the ground, okay, but this product here, this debris tracker, says that there's a good chance that there's not.
Can we take Mike's stream full screen here?
Yeah.
That's a great shot. Mike, we got your stream up here completely. What are you seeing right there?
Do you have me?
We got you.
So that's the leading edge of the rain shaft there, and look to the right of that, and you can see the inflow cloud. So there could possibly be a tornado right on the leading edge of that rain shaft. I don't see any power flashes. I see a lot of movement though right on the leading edge of that rain swath of rain coming in there. And if you look really, really close, let me see here.
Yeah, Mike is talking about right here, like that area.
Okay, now look right around there. I'm kind of zooming in there, and that is right. That's Dell City, Midwest City. It's getting its act together very, very quickly here. I don't see power flashes. I would think I would see them from here. I don't see anything yet, but it's intensifying. I think probably the most intense it's been in quite a while.
Yeah, Mike, you can see this storm is still getting some really good upflow or inflow right here, and this is your updraft core. And again, there's a lot of rain wrapping around this mesocyclone too. Mike, we're gonna peel away from me here for a second and go back to the radar. And it looks like this area right here where you see the inflow and this notch, it's still about the same. If I'm going back like 2 or 3 radar scans, it is getting tighter, and that's really bad news. That means the rotation is also getting more intense and stronger, as you can see. So in the vicinity of southeast 15th, southeastern Avenue, southeast 29th Street, basically on the west sides of Dell City, we have a possible tornado on the ground. It's tornado warned. That circulation has a history of producing tornadoes, and Josh is right along Sooner Road, and he's in a great location to be able to see something on the ground if there was. So let's go ahead and take Josh's stream. Again, Dell City, Midwest City, Tinker. Please make sure you are taking your tornado precautions. If you're in your shelter, and I hope you are, please stay there until further notice. This storm is not moving as fast as we would like. So Josh, I think we got a lowering there. What are you seeing along the tree line?
Interesting little areas, but every time I get a chance to look, the trees show back up. Yeah, right about where you're talking. I just passed southeast, I believe it was 44th. I'm right next to Tinker Air Force Base, and this is just right out my window. The front side of that rain shaft that Mike was talking about, directly to my west right now, and that is where the interesting looking area has been that I've been seeing.
Okay.
But I've not seen anything on the ground. I haven't seen any power flashes or anything like that.
Okay. That's mostly good news, Josh. Thank you. So Josh is pointed right at the leading edge of those clouds that Mike was pointing out earlier. And so you're seeing a lowering. What you're seeing here is a lot of inflow coming into this storm. Ragged cloud base. It's a rain-free base right now. And we're also assuming this is the main updraft core and the main circulation. Let's go back to the radar, please, because Josh is coming north on Sooner Road, and he's looking right there. Okay, he's looking between here and here. So if Josh is pointed here, he's seeing that ragged base. But again, we have to look from here and all the way across Del City, because anywhere in this area between Sooner Road and the center of Del City, there could be a tornado. Could be anywhere in here. Now, we haven't had any reports, thank goodness, and we've only really had one confirmation of this supercell producing a tornado. It's showing rotation, several areas of rotation, and again, the strongest area is right here, Southeast 29th, Smith Village, Del City, and you got South Sooner Road, Midway Village, East Reno Avenue goes about here. So this area right here, possible tornado on the ground, immediate tornado threat. Please make sure you're taking your tornado precautions. Now, Midwest City Tinker Air Force Base, get underground if you can. I work at Tinker sometimes, and there's not a lot of underground shelter here. But if there is and you can get there, please do. If you can't, it's okay, just as long as you can get to the lowest level of your home and put as many walls between you and the outside. Just make sure there's no window. So if you're in a bathroom that's got a window, that's no good. Get to another bathroom that doesn't have a window on the lowest floor, or get to an interior hallway or a closet. But the bathroom is always the best if you can, if you cannot get underground or, of course, into a safe room. So, man, I want to get... I just, every time you look at this, it just looks worse. So you get one scan that maybe looks like it's not getting any worse, than you get a scan like this, where that rotation is closing off.
We at least have some good news for that storm up in Payne County. That tornado warning has been canceled. For those of you up near Stillwater and really to the northeast of the Stillwater area, just a severe thunderstorm warning right now. The Tulsa folks going to be dealing with that here. But again, still that very, very serious storm that we've been continuing to track for Oklahoma County and really on the southeast side of the metro area.
Yeah, thanks, Ross. And hey, Trey, actually, keep it here for a second, because I haven't heard anything from the Weather Service, but I'd be concerned about that right there, too. So on the west and southwest sides of Norman, between Norman and Middleburg, we have a really strong circulation there, too. Now, that's not tornado warned, but you can see the yellow polygon that is severe warned. I'm not sure if we have a tornado tag on that yet. But anyway, Newcastle and Norman, get ready for some pretty big hail, at least golf balls coming through. And we're watching that circulation real closely, and looks like that'll stay almost for sure south of I-40 and south of Oklahoma City. But it could still jog north and come across where we have this other tornado warning. So we're watching everything real closely and not making any promises. So, Trey, good. And zoom out some more, please. What's going on with that storm here? Okay, it looks like it's becoming more disorganized and it's heading more eastward. Okay, but still, Grady County, Chickasha, Ninnekah, Agawam, Rush Springs, severe thunderstorm capable of producing some big hail. Let's get back to the tornado warned storm, please. And those storms that we just talked about do not have an immediate tornado threat, but any thunderstorm that you have coming through your neighborhood between now and, let's say, midnight until that tornado watch expires will at least have a low tornado threat. And so we have got Josh right here. He is in Midwest City. And here's Tinker, there's Mike, and this is the circulation that we've been tracking for almost an hour. And it's closing off again.
Yeah, it's very, very tightly wrapped.
What's the velocity look like on that, Trey? And so it's right there. So yes, this has gotten stronger in the past few minutes, in the past couple radar scans. So the strongest circulation is in the Del City area, Midwest City. That's St. Anthony's right here. And Trey, can you drop that down a little bit, the radar? I meant the other way. I meant like go north. Sorry. Yeah, and pull up the reflectivity, please. Okay, in this area here. So let's go ahead and get real close. Let's get back down the street level. And then let me get everyone a good feeling of where this circulation and possible tornado is. So there's Tinker Diagonal. This is Tinker Air Force Base right here. And then you got Midwest City High School, South Air Depot Road. So if you're familiar coming down I-40, the base is in this area here. And then let's see, Southeast 15th, Adair Boulevard. And this is South Douglas Road. And so this whole area right here is under a tornado warning. And please make sure you're taking your tornado precautions if you're sheltered. And I really hope you are. Make sure you stay there until further notice. It's going to take at least another 20 minutes to get this circulation through this neighborhood right here, 15, 20 minutes. It may be shorter, but we're not going to count on that because this circulation is just not moving very fast at all. And we may have another new circulation going on down here on the south side of the base. Let's go ahead and take Josh's stream, please. Josh is heading east down I-40. Thank you, Josh. Josh, can I speak to you, please? Are you still heading towards the storm or away?
My head. There's right across from Tinker Air Force Base. There's a shopping center, and there's like a little visitor center or something right there. I was in their parking lot, and there was rotation right over my head when I was there. So I moved back further east again.
Okay. That was a good idea, Josh. Thanks. Yeah, we don't really see anything here on your stream. Is there anything that you want to mention before we move on? That's okay. Back to the radar, please. And like Josh was saying, and then we just got word from the National Weather Service that this the rotation has tightened. It has gotten stronger. So Josh is right here down I-40. So we've been watching this area. So it looks like we have possibly a new area of rotation where you start to see this looking a little hooky right there. So let's go ahead and pop up the velocity, please. Thank you, Trey. And so we're starting to see some rotation here too. So you get rotation throughout this whole area. Now, Josh has been tracking this rotation and that circulation right here, but we're also seeing a new one near Patrol Road and near Southeast 59th Street. Okay, this is still on the base, on and around the base. So, again, possible tornado at any moment in and around Tinker Air Force Base. Looks like the circulation now is east of Del City, center South Midwest City, right around Tinker Air Force Base, possible tornado on the ground. Okay, because, here's I-40 south of that. This base takes up a lot of real estate here. We got like 30,000 people working on that base. And then between 40 and 240, between these two interstates and back towards Sooner Road, maybe not all the way to Sooner Road, but this is the base that goes all the way through this big area. Patrol Road is right on the base. So is Southeast 59th. And Douglas shoots through the base too.
Can we track this storm as it continues to move to the east there? A little bit closer towards Woods and Nuwala, Hara.
Trey, I would track it. I'd put that line from Midwest City down towards Tinker Air Force Base just to be on the safe side since we're getting, two possible areas of rotation. Yeah, 30's fine because it doesn't seem like this storm is moving very fast. So it's in Midwest City right now, and that rotation and that supercell with the mesocyclone is going to come right in between Choctaw and Woods. So again, Tinker Air Force Base, please make sure you're taking your tornado precautions. If you are sheltered, please stay there. Head to your safe spot. If you can get underground, that's where you want to be. If you can't, it's okay, because in this situation, if you can get to the lowest level of your home and put as many walls between you and the outside, that's a very safe place to be, a very safe place if you cannot get underground. So if you can't get into an underground shelter or even a safe room, lowest, most interior portion of your home, hallway closet, a bathroom, best places to be. And it's a safe, very safe place to be in this situation. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at Josh's stream one more time, please. And Josh, I think we maybe have a better shot of the base of that storm since you repositioned. Do you see anything different in the past few minutes? Okay, we'll get back to Josh.
Hello?
Because go ahead, Josh.
It's Mike.
Oh,
It's
sorry,
not
Mike.
Josh.
What do you got?
I'm on the north side of Tinker here, and a lot of varying wind directions. I haven't experienced it yet on the storm yet, so it looks like there's a lot of wind flowing in from the north and the west into the Tinker area. So is there? I can't get quite where the best rotation's at on my stuff I have here. So where are you showing the actual rotation?
Yeah, honestly, Mike, we're showing two. We're showing one on the north side of the base and one south. So I think I would say the rotation that you and Josh were tracking, that broadened, and then we had another rotation that shifted south of that, or that formed south of that parent rotation. So the radar is really messy right now. So if you show the velocity right now, you'll see a rotation here, and then you'll see another rotation like right here. So off of Northeast 23rd Street, north of St. Anthony's, and then again, Tinker Air Force Base. And then I want to read you a report right now. So Mike, again, before I leave Mike, on the east sides of Tinker, okay, southeast 59th Street. So Mike, you are west of the circulation right now, and Josh is just north of it. So on the east side of Tinker Air Force Base, the east and south side, we see the greens and the reds really close to one another. That's where we have the most significant rotation right now. And I just had a report from the National Weather Service, and they're saying they're getting word of rapid vertical motion and a rapid rotation on the east side of Tinker, and there have been power flashes too. It's unclear what the source was. Again, when you see power flashes, it could be strong straight line winds. It could be a tornado. But since there's a tornado warning in effect and this circulation has a history of producing a tornado, we want to act as if there may be a tornado on the ground. Okay, so you see some inflow coming in here, and you're also seeing some inflow coming in this area. So the way we kind of differentiate that and separate it, let's go ahead and compare products. So Trey, let's go ahead and look at the velocity product again, and I think we'll see a rotation St. Anthony's north up towards Northeast 23rd Street, but this is the area that has had reports of power flashes and has had reports of rapid rotation. And this was near, actually, can you get closer, Trey, to that area here? I'm going to make sure that we narrow that down. Go south. Right here, we have right where it says Southeast 59th Street, between here and right along Southeast 59th. This is the area that we're most concerned about right now on the east and south sides of the base, down towards Southeast 74th and 240. This is the area here, and maybe even back towards Douglas Road, where we had reports of power flashes. Now again, power flashes do not always indicate a tornado, but when you have a circulation like that, we have to act as if, for right now, just to be on the safe side. Okay, so we're playing it safe. We want to act as if there may be a tornado on the ground because that circulation is significant and it has a history of producing a tornado.
And you can see Josh Lasseter's stream there, that bottom right shot. He's just on really the edge of that storm as it's making its way just to really the east side now of Midwest City and Tinker Air Force Base. You can see that shelf cloud making its way further and further eastward. And again, he's pretty much right there where we are seeing that strongest rotation.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous thunderstorm for a lot of reasons. And so, hey, Trey, let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit. We want to track it now. Okay, so we're going to track the rotation here on the east and south sides of the base, right in between I-40 and 240, right about there. So let's track that area eastward, please. And let's go at about 2025. That should be good. And yeah, it's just going to run into woods. So when you get out into this area here, when 240 opens up and you head eastward, or when you cross, I-40 here and go up in this area, you got Choctaw, you got Woods, and you got Hara, and you got Nuwala. But Choctaw, Woods, Hara, Nuwala, you're all in that tornado warning. You're in the polygon, which means that you have to take your tornado precautions if you're not right now. So, Trey, let's go ahead and just try to track again, or try to do that track one more time, please. And let's head eastward, because Woods, you have less than 10 minutes for sure to take your tornado precautions. And because we don't really have, okay, so Hara is showing up, so that's good. So let's say Hara down towards Nuwala, you have, I'm going to say 20 minutes or less to make sure you're seeking shelter, heading to your safe spot. And 20 minutes should be enough time to quickly and calmly get to where you need to be. If it's underground, that's great. That's the safest place to be. If not, it's okay. Just as long as you're in a sturdy building, you can get to the lowest floor and put a lot of walls, or as many walls between you and the outside as you can, and just get away from the windows. Get in and get down and cover up. Possible tornado on the east and south sides of Tinker Air Force Base, and the strongest rotation is just north of I-40, in between I-40, 240, and just a little south of that. And Mike and Josh are on the same road, so they're coming up on this split right here, and they're going to try to get ahead of it.
And just another kind of interesting point. Again, we do have several severe thunderstorm warnings in effect along this, strong line of storms making its way pretty much now across that I-35 corridor. But further to the southwest, you can see Blanchard getting in on some of that. Ninica also going to be seeing some storms here very, very soon. But just north of the Sterling area, just to the east of Fletcher and Elgin, we are beginning to see a little bit of some broad rotation there.
Yeah.
Zoom into Mount View, Trey, and take that to the velocity look. You might be able to see a little bit beginning to form. Not a whole lot.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's concerning when you're looking at that radar signature like that. There's no immediate tornado threat, but like we've been saying throughout the evening, all these thunderstorms that are rotating and that are warned, I mean, if they're warned even a severe thunderstorm warning, there's still going to be a low tornado threat that comes along with that too. So for the rest of the evening, in that tornado watch between now and midnight, any thunderstorm that comes through your neighborhood, please just assume that it's at least going to have a low tornado threat. And that circulation is coming towards Rocky Ford, Agawam, and Rush Springs into Grady County. All right. And that's going to pass possibly the central and south sides of Chickasha if it jogs a little bit more to the north. Okay. Trey, go ahead and zoom out, please. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other supercells and severe thunderstorm warnings that we have for southwest Oklahoma. So this one's heading northeast, that one's heading more northward. We will be tracking these also. As of right now, along this long line, it's a broken line of severe and strong thunderstorms, just the one tornado warning. And but this other supercell that's warned, severe thunderstorm warned, that's coming to the south sides of Moore and right on top of Newcastle. So there's a line that we cross here that goes from Moore into Newcastle, and this is a big hail core that we have. So you see the purplish colors, that's big time hail. That's also a pretty significant rotation that we have there too. And that's coming into Norman from the west and from the southwest. So Norman, Goldsby, Noble, get ready for some possibly golf ball sized hail or larger, strong winds, 60 to 70, maybe 80 miles an hour, and that rotation is not looking good. I wouldn't say there's a significant or an immediate tornado threat, but that needs to be watched. So it looks like the severe thunderstorm warning that we have in that area will continue, and we're going to keep on tracking this tornado warning too. So let's get back up there to that storm tray, because it looks like the rotation, remember how we keep saying that when it closes off and gets tighter and tighter, that's signs of it strengthening, but when it opens up like that, that's signs of it weakening. So from green pastures down towards just west of Woods and on the west side of Choctaw. Yeah, go ahead and keep on going, Ross, for me, please.
We are going to get Jeff right back in here in just a little bit. But as he was saying, as that closes off, normally that looks worse, but this band is now beginning to widen out a little bit. So as he was saying, all the way from green pastures just to the west of the Choctaw area, and then down also to the west of Woods and east of Tinker Air Force Base, pretty much the whole way down to where Mike and Josh are at. That's starting to broaden out a little bit here, which is good news, showing that it is weakening. And this tornado warning does expire in just a few minutes, so we're going to have to wait and see if the National Weather Service does plan to extend this or not. Right now, it's looking like they're more than likely going to issue a new severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag here shortly. But again, we're still going to watch this. There still is, again, some broad rotation within this, and it does have the history of producing some possible tornadoes. Again, we had some of those reports out of the Will Rogers Airport about maybe half an hour ago, 40 minutes ago, as it made its way crossing I-44. So this is making its way pretty slowly to the east. But again, if you do live in the Choctaw, Woods, Hara, Newalla area, take your tornado precautions now. Again, this tornado warning still in effect for the next couple of minutes here. If you have a downstairs shelter or an underground shelter, go there now. If not, you can still survive this tornado warning in an interior closet, a bathroom, interior hallways. You want to put as many walls as you can between you and the outside. So any of those strong gusty winds have to go through several layers of walls to reach it there. But again, seeing lots of wind, lots of hail, anywhere from about 1 to 2 inch hail possible, likely within some of these stronger rain bands just to the north of that area that was seeing that tornado warned storm here around the Woods and Choctaw area. So you can see we're just behind where Mike and Josh are at. 1.5 inch hail is being seen right now. So a dangerous storm, but again, it does look like it is beginning to weaken here a little bit as really that rotation begins to broaden out a little bit more and more. Now, Trey, can we go to the velocity and see what things are looking like here? You can see, yeah, there still is some rotation right there just to the west of the Woods area, but not nearly as tight of a couplet as we've seen here really over the past hour or two that Jeff has been tracking for you. And still a little bit of some rotation just to the north of that main storm there. Can we pull up either Mike or Josh's stream, see what they are seeing right now? Mike, we got your stream up. We can see you're getting a ton of rain. What are you seeing right now besides that? Getting to see, are those power flashes or just lightning strikes?
I've gone pretty much through the areas where that tightest velocity rotation was showing up on radar, and I haven't seen anything like concerning, like damage or anything like that. I have seen some emergency vehicle. I did see a few heading into the Mustang area when I was there, but I haven't seen a lot of damage. I'll tell you one thing: there is a lot of rain coming down with these storms, so that's a plus. And I haven't really personally, I have not seen a lot of hail, and I've been into the thick of things with these storms. So I'm going to go ahead and head down towards the Norman area and intercept this other storm as it comes into the area.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, the radar is showing, 1 to 1.5 inch hail, but that might just be some really, really large raindrops there just behind where that tightest area of rotation is, right around that Woods area once again. Now, if we can take a peek down towards some of those further storms to the southwest there, Trey, down towards that Norman area where Mike is
Ross,
going.
they're about ready to issue a new tornado warning.
Okay.
They're going to extend that polygon, it looks like, because, yeah, it was showing signs of weakening quite a bit, but it's tightening back up again, and it looks like they're looking at the area right around Choctaw. They haven't said exactly, but when they mention it, I'll go ahead and pull it up.
So this area right here around Choctaw, northeast 23rd Street, and let's see, what other road is that right there? Choctaw Road. North Henny Road also going to be near that tightest area of rotation. So we're going to continue to track this as that new warning does come out here in just a few minutes, I would assume, unless the National Weather Service has put anything out. So again, this storm has had the history of producing a tornado. That was a little bit further to the southwest side of the metro, but it's still a very, very dangerous storm here. That tornado warning has disappeared for now, just a severe thunderstorm warning currently. But there comes the new warning that's going to be in effect until 9 p.m. So another 45 minutes. Can we track this line here, Trey?
Yeah, it is that rotation there near Choctaw. So that little notch that we see on the west and southwest sides of Choctaw, that's what we're focusing on right now for rotation and possible tornado.
So Harrah's really the only one popping up right now. 11 minutes until this line of storms, and again, that tightest area of rotation near Choctaw, making its way there along, I believe that's Highway 62? Yes. So about 10 minutes to Harrah. So it's going to be about the same story for the Newalla area as well. I would say probably another 15 to 20 minutes for the Midway and Fowler areas. About 25 to 30 minutes for the Jacktown area there, just a little bit further to the east. Beginning to see a little bit of some inflow here. That is going to be a sign of that couplet beginning to tighten up a little bit. Trey, can we take a peek at the velocity here for that area around Choctaw? Yeah, and you can see it right there, that tightest area of rotation right there in between Northeast 23rd Street and Choctaw Road and North Henny Road as well. Really just to the south of Dungy Park and just to the east of Nakoma Park as well.
Okay, thanks, Ross. And Ross is going to freshen up. So, again, we're looking right along and south of Northeast 23rd Street. Rotation possibly producing a tornado. If it's not producing a tornado right now, it could do that at any moment. Now, this is the rotation, the same mesocyclone that has a history of producing at least one tornado that happened almost an hour ago, almost exactly an hour ago when this was on the west and southwest sides of Oklahoma City, because this tornado warning, okay, this is the circulation. Okay, when this circulation was warned for a tornado, it was near Tuttle and it was near Mustang, and it's still intact. It's still holding together, and it's still capable. When I say it, I mean the mesocyclone in this rotation right here. It is still capable of producing another tornado right down and just south of Northeast 23rd Street. This warning will expire at 9 o'clock, unless, of course, it gets extended. So, again, Northeast 23rd, East Reno, east of Choctaw Road, well, not east of Choctaw Road, let's say right along and maybe a half a mile to the east of Choctaw Road. This is the circulation and the area that we are watching for a possible tornado. Let's go ahead and track that, Trey, because it's moving.